Recently, we talked about old methods to quickly revive a lawn, and this topic created far more discussion than I expected, because it turned out that a huge number of people have the exact same problem. The lawn seems to start turning green, but then weak areas, thin grass, and bare spots begin appearing again. And the most interesting part is that most people at this point simply start adding even more fertilizer without realizing that the problem often is not actually in the grass itself. Because a weak lawn almost never starts on the surface. It starts beneath the soil. And today I want to show you another lawn restoration method that people use not for a temporary effect that lasts a couple of weeks, but to gradually restore the soil itself underneath the grass. And the most interesting part is that some of the ingredients people usually throw away every single day. But here is what really matters. Most people use these methods completely wrong. They mix everything together randomly, spray at the wrong time, use it too often, and end up barely seeing any results. And closer to the end of the video, I will show you one mistake that can almost completely destroy the effect of this entire system, even if everything else is done correctly. So let's begin with what is actually happening to most lawns. Many people think grass feeds directly from fertilizer, but in reality, a healthy lawn does not start with fertilizer, it starts with living soil. Because underneath every thick green lawn is a massive system of bacteria, fungi, organic matter, and millions of microorganisms constantly processing nutrients for the grass roots. And when this system starts breaking down, the lawn gradually becomes weaker and weaker. That's exactly why many lawns only look good for a short time after treatment. First, the grass quickly turns green. Then the soil starts drying out again. Microbial life weakens. The roots remain shallow. And after a few weeks, the lawn starts thinning out again. That's exactly why many experienced gardeners first restore not the grass itself, but the soil underneath it. And this is where the most interesting part begins. One of the most popular methods for this is called compost tea. But here is what most people do not understand. This is not a regular fertilizer. It is used to literally repopulate the soil with beneficial microbial life. And when the soil becomes biologically active again, the lawn starts responding in a completely different way. For a simple version of compost tea, people usually use about 5 gallons of dechlorinated water, around 2 cups of finished compost, and 1 tablespoon of unsulfured blackstrap molasses. But this is where almost nobody talks about what is really happening. Molasses is not added because it directly feeds the grass. It is used as food for beneficial microorganisms inside the soil. After this, the mixture is usually aerated for about 24 hours using a small air pump or aerator. And it is the oxygen that triggers active microbial growth inside the solution. 11_1. Many people notice changes not only in the color of the grass. They begin seeing that the soil holds moisture longer, weak areas dry out more slowly, and the lawn itself gradually becomes denser. But here is the mistake that destroys this entire process for a huge number of people. They use ordinary tap water directly from the faucet, and they never stop to think that it contains chlorine. And chlorine was specifically created to kill bacteria, which means people are literally trying to populate the soil with microorganisms while simultaneously killing some of them with the same water. And that is why many people either let the water sit for about a day or use filtered water instead. Now we move to the second stage. After the soil gradually begins recovering, many people start using a special mixture directly for the lawn itself. And this is where blackstrap molasses and Epsom salt are most commonly used. For the mixture, people usually use 1 gallon of warm water, about 1/3 cup of blackstrap molasses, and 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt. Warm water helps fully dissolve the ingredients. The molasses continues working as food for soil life, while Epsom salt contains magnesium, one of the most important elements for chlorophyll production. That is why after treatments like this, the grass often starts looking noticeably darker and richer in color. But here is what most people do wrong. They spray the mixture in the middle of the day when the lawn is literally overheated from the sun. As a result, the surface dries too quickly. The solution cannot properly soak into the soil, and part of the effect is simply lost. That is why mixtures like this are best applied either early in the morning or in the evening, when the surface is cooler and holds moisture much better. And this is where another thing appears that almost nobody uses correctly: used coffee grounds. The internet is full of advice showing people trying to dump them all over the entire yard. But in reality, they usually work best specifically on weak areas and bare patches. Coffee grounds gradually break down, help retain moisture, and add organic matter exactly where the soil looks the weakest. But the most important thing is to use them in a thin layer. Because too much actually starts working against you, usually it is enough to lightly cover the weak area and then water it, or lightly spray the solution over the top. And the one mistake almost everyone makes: mowing the lawn too short. And this is one of the most underrated causes of bare spots. When grass becomes too short, the sun starts directly overheating the soil surface. Moisture evaporates much faster, microbial life weakens, and the roots become more and more shallow. And gradually the lawn starts thinning out again. That is why many thick, healthy lawns are actually kept slightly taller. Longer grass helps create shade for the soil, retain moisture, and protect the same microbial system you were just trying to restore. And at this point, it becomes very important not to remove the grass clippings, but to leave them in place for additional protection against overheating and to feed the soil. But here is the mistake almost nobody talks about, even though it very often destroys the results, even after all these treatments. Watering too frequently and too shallowly. People lightly water the lawn almost every day thinking they are helping it, but as a result, the roots become used to staying almost at the surface. And when hot weather arrives, the top layer dries out in just a few hours, and the lawn starts weakening again. That is why deeper but less frequent watering usually works much better. What does this mean? You should water 1 to 2 times per week, but deeply enough so the soil becomes moist about 10 to 15 centimeters down. The best time is early in the morning, around 5 to 9 a.m. This forces the roots to grow deeper, where moisture remains longer even during hot weather. And the deeper the roots become, the more resilient the lawn itself starts becoming. How can you check how deeply the water penetrated? Take a screwdriver, long knife, or metal rod and push it into the soil after watering. If it easily goes down 10 to 15 centimeters, the moisture level is good. If it only goes down 2 to 3 centimeters, the watering was too shallow. And here is what is really interesting. Most people expect the lawn to become perfect within just a few days, but real restoration always happens gradually. First, the soil itself comes back to life. Then it begins holding moisture better. After that, the roots become stronger. And only then does the lawn start looking noticeably thicker and healthier. Because a truly thick lawn does not begin with fertilizer. It begins with living soil beneath your feet.